Good evening and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. It's the Que-stead show. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Que-stead-Que. Well, I have quite a bit to talk to you about today and announce, but I'm going to try to keep this at 20 minutes at the very most because it takes so long to upload to YouTube. And my cousin was here on yesterday, and she's an expert at those types of things, so she's going to get me set up with my studio in my office here at home and with editing. She knows of a lot of editing apps and things like that, so we're going to be getting that done pretty soon, and at that point I can do videos more professionally and at length. Okay, so let's get started today. First of all, my flowers are blooming. We have been having rain for the past week and it's still at it, and so tomorrow is supposed to clear up. But it has done well for my flowers and my garden. So everything's coming along just fine. On yesterday, I spent the day with my sister, and my sister has so many beautiful perennials. And so she pieced off sprigs. She let me propagate her rose bush, which I will show you momentarily. That flower right there, that green one, you see in the mess of weeds and dirt here. I planted that. I planted some 4 o'clocks along the fence. I planted some up front. She gave me just a huge variety of perennials that I am going to just enjoy. So then she let me get a stem of her rose. Now, her rose bush, she started this as a teeny tiny baby 2 years ago, and this bush is now huge and it's in full bloom. And each year the colors of the roses are different. She's like, one year she got pink, another year she got white, this year she got this yellowish orange color. And so she let me take one of the stems, and so I didn't know anything about really propagating a rose bush, but I figured, hey, YouTube. So I went to YouTube to this man who has a rose bush farm, and he showed a simple way. He actually showed 3 simple ways that you could propagate. And so the one way that was actually the most difficult, now was the time to do it, because that makes it more easy. And what that is was just cutting your stems. You leave a few leaves on, you cut the stem in a slant, and you just plant it. So I have one, you see this one right back here. There's 1, 2, 3. I have 4 in here. I propagated 2 on the side of the house. I propagated 3 up front in the perennial bed, and then the other perennials that my sister gave me, I planted those out, so the perennial bed is now full. And then those 4 o'clocks I put all alongside of my fence here, because with this type of wooden fence, those 4 o'clocks are going to be beautiful as they get taller. And the dirt up there is so fertile. We're not going to go up front today, but I just wanted to let you know what I've done. Let's look at the garden real quick before we go any further. Okay, I've been getting squash flowers galore. In fact, my god sister just left a few minutes ago, and we had us a mess of squash flowers and squash leaves, and I still have flowers in there. And I have squash that the squash is growing. It pollinated well, so I've got squash flowers and squash leaves to eat until I can't eat no more. I'm loving that. My cucumbers, oh my God, they have set so well. So I broke the news to my sister. We won't be using this table for the party because I cannot break the set of my cucumbers. And what I mean by that is, once the cucumbers establish themselves on the trellis like mine have, plus I have cucumbers coming. I have about 20 of them in there, and each one has been pollinated. If the bees didn't do it, I did, okay? So I know that they're growing, and I know that they're going to give me overabundance of cucumbers. So I'm letting these plants do what they do. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? And even this one over here, my okra's taking off. we've been getting rain, and the rain has just done good. We had a big storm Saturday. Remember when I told you all? No, I didn't tell you, but my friend is coming to cut. First of all, I've cut a lot of this brush myself, but my friend is coming to cut those sucker trees on the other side where of the fence, because every year I get all these leaves. It's been a nightmare. And so my friend is coming. He's going to cut those things right at the fence line, the part, you know, because any that's hanging on my side, I'm actually responsible for. And my neighbor knows this. So I've been doing a lot of brush cutting, and he's coming to get the rest of that. And he's like, when I get done with that chainsaw, you're not gonna have this problem for years to come ever again. So he's coming to get all that. But God even knocked some of it down. Look at all that. I had stuff all over my shed and all that stuff, so I have to pull that out. I'm gonna do that tomorrow once the sun is back out and get that cleared away. And I'll take you over to the other side and let you see what's happening once I get over there. My patty pan is going crazy. Those 50-cent peas that I bought have established themselves on the trellis, so I was able to stand it up because I had the trellis laying down so that the peas could attach. And they did that, so I stood it up today. My lima beans doing good. My cushaw squash is doing good. Look at my green beans, y'all. Look at the blooms. Oh, my first harvest is coming in about, I say, I'll give it another week and a half. Once those green beans come on there, I'm gonna be picking right away. And then my other green beans that came up are doing well too. They're catching up to those. So I'm gonna have to get a new setup of trellises. These are yellow wax right here. And then I have some yellow wax up front in a crate. And these here are Kentucky, they're either Kentucky Wonders or, I know there's something, but they're stringless. That I know. But I'm gonna get quite a bit. Yep. Okay, so that's it. I'm not gonna go into the greenhouse. We'll just peek in there. I've got tomatoes coming. I have, my loofah. Wait, we've got to go in there. Well, no, we can go in there the next time, but my loofah is bloomed. So that's wonderful. That means I'm going to get loofah. And this is my first year ever planting the fiber of loofah. Last year I did cotton, and my cotton harvest ended up being very successful. It looks as if the loofah harvest will be successful as well. So I'm really thankful for that, because I can get those loofahs off of there and give it, you know, for gifts and whatnot. So anyway, this is the greenhouse right now, how it's looking. So we're not going to go in there because I don't feel like opening it up. I've already gone in there today to water. Everything in there is doing wonderful. Okay, now on to we're 8 minutes in, so now on to the announcements and stuff. Okay, I have told y'all that I've always wanted to do an emphasis on permaculture. And so I decided, while it was storming and I couldn't really be out here doing anything. Wait, before I go to that, first of all, let me finish telling you what my friend is going to be doing. See all those trees at the back next to the big giant tree? He's cutting all of those down. He's cutting that tree there down. All this mess over here is going to be moved and stored somewhere else. The trees behind the shed will be cut down, all the sucker trees. He's going to get all this brush that's up here. In fact, this brush here is coming from one of the trees that he's going to be eliminating. So all this brush that you see in front of you is going to be gone. It's going to open it up to the sun, and I won't have to deal with leaves anymore after he does that. And then he's getting rid of all that extra stuff. Okay. Then over here, you see there's a tree there. He's cutting that down. And then all this brush over here against the fence, he's going to be cutting down. That's going to be within the next week. Okay. So that opens this area up. Now back to the story. The permaculture, I decided, okay, let me start looking to study more about the permaculture. I've looked at stuff, and I found this one video that talked about the principles, and I thought, you know, it's 13 principles to permaculture for having a successful permaculture garden. And so I thought, it's got to be something different that I can do. And so it turns out you can actually do your permaculture at any scale. You don't have to have the whole 13 principles. You can use one or two, depending on what suits you. And since I live alone, that's what I'm going to do. First of all, and I actually have about 4 or 5 of the principles that I didn't even know that I had. I was always fussing about this wood pile over here, but actually it's called a who. I forgot the name. I'll tell y'all later. But it's a wood pile like this is called a huga or something. It's going to break down on its own as the years go by, and that's good to have for permaculture because it keeps the ground fertile. So now, although I was complaining about all this brush back here, it's actually a good thing. All these weeds that you see, it really doesn't matter that those weeds are there, although I will be pulling, I'll be pulling up as many as I can, because once my friend gets this cleared out, of course I'm gonna clean it. And if y'all hear a weird noise, that's my stoma, okay? Okay, so see how fertile this dirt is? Hold on. And see, the former owners, the ones who are deceased, they actually started something, they actually started stuff here before, because you see the plastic bags that they laid down here on the ground to, to keep, block weeds off. But look at this fertile dirt, y'all. So this is gonna be perfect. So, and then we got the flowers here that they planted, and then there's other flowers in the ground, and then all this brush from the storm. So all this is going to be cleaned up on tomorrow. And my friend came and put me a new clothesline in. Let me show it to you because I am so happy about this. And I'm going to be using it. See it? Yep. Okay. So anyway, over here in this area, after everything is cleared and clean, this is going to be zone 1. And what zone 1 is with the permaculture is I'm going to be planting permanent plants here. First of all, I already have asparagus. I'm in year 2 of asparagus. So the asparagus that are in the greenhouse in a crate, I'm bringing that out. I'm removing it from the crate and I'm putting it in the ground. And so I will have the asparagus on this side. I'm probably going to end up putting the asparagus up against the shed. Okay, in that area. I plan to have walking onion. I've looked at, you have your Jerusalem artichokes. I can put oregano. Then there's flowers. I'm going to put some edible flowers over here. And then I'm going to Stark's Nursery and I'm going to order some of the specialty fruits. So I'm going to put some raspberry in. I like the golden raspberries. I'm gonna put some pink lemonade blueberries over here. I'm gonna put strawberries over here. I'm just gonna load this up with anything that's perennial in this section here. So this is zone 1. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. And then I have zone 2. And you know what? They talk about the swale. I jokingly call this hill over here a swale, but guess what? It is actually a swale. When they explained what a swale is, I was like, this is a swale. What a swale is basically, it's like a healed area where you can get runoff of the water. And because this is a hill, what I'm going to do is dig around around it to swell it off, and I'm going to put some perennial plants around the edge of this, and then I'm gonna fence it off, and it's gonna serve the purpose of an actual swale. In the middle of the swale, where you see that dirt there, I am going to plant a tree, because now that's your other zone. Anytime you're doing permaculture, it has to involve a tree. Now I'm gonna keep the trees that I have in the containers, that I may end up moving them, but I am going to put a tree. So I think I'm going to order, when I looked at my zone on Stark's, I can do a pecan tree. I can do apple tree, and I think I'm gonna go with just a basic apple tree, but you need a fruit tree. So I'm gonna plant a little dwarf fruit tree that's not gonna get any bigger than what these trees are here, right here in the middle. And then you put your plants, fruits, or whatever around that tree too, with your permaculture crops. So this is going to be zone 2 because of that. Okay, then I'll have my regular garden. So really, actually, all I'm gonna have is 3. Oh, you know what? I just messed up, y'all. I'm not going to dig. I am gonna put the tree in, and I'm calling it the tree of life because my African keyhole garden up front. And what I did with that was it's just some bricks with square. I'm gonna actually build an actual African keyhole garden the right way, where you do the measurement, the dimensions according to the circle, because the swell is a circle. Once I put that keyhole garden in right here with the bricks, once I build it, then that's where the plants will be, the permaculture plants, and I'm gonna put the tree right in the middle, and then I'm gonna put my compost thing right in the middle. And so it's going to run itself. And that, I already have the stuff, so it's just a matter of me doing it. Okay, so this will be zone 2, and we're calling it the tree of life, the African keyhole garden. So that will be done in the next few weeks here. Okay, I know it looks bad now, but I'm just showing you the vision and explaining. Okay, so in the like I said, I already have my asparagus, so that will be over on the other side. I might put, because I have 2 crates of asparagus, I might put 1 crate over on the other side and put the other I might plant the 1 crate on that side and then plant the other crate on this side. Even if I have duplicate plants, I'm just going to make sure that this zone 2, the African keyhole tree of life zone, and then that zone over there, which is zone 1, which will house the fruits, strawberries, and other goodies. And then zone 3 will be the fruit orchard. And those are the fruits that I have that are already in crates. And I will use those fruits for propagation and for growing and all that. And that's going to be down the pathway. So, and then my friend, he's going to be putting the weed block down this pathway. I'm going to put the bricks down to make it into a pathway. And I'm trying to determine whether or not I want to put wood chips along this pathway, because it's going to cost a lot depending. But now if wood chips are cheap enough, if I can get this done for like $25 to $30, I will do the wood chips, because now I'll still get leaves, but it won't be anything as massive like it was before. So, and even if I do get the leaves, it doesn't matter. And then my compost station, I am going to expand that with the keyhole garden, and I am going to buy 2 more garbage cans to start some more compost. So this whole area is going to be for that. So this will be zone 3 because of the composting, and that's a zone within the 13 principles of permaculture. And that's where it stops. So what I did, because I thought about it and I prayed about it, I was like, okay, this is the stuff I was planning for next year. I started writing things down. But then as I watched the video that explained it, I was like, if I wait till next year, then I was like, but I don't have the money. I don't have the money to get the dwarf tree. I don't, because Starks is kind of expensive, although they just started their summer clearance. So this stuff now is 50 to 70% off for these things in my zone. So anyway, when I saw that, I was like, if I wait till next year, I've got to, first of all, wait till the clearance is safe up and all this stuff. Then I thought, but if I do it now, I can get this mess established this year, because y'all know in the next few weeks here, everything is going to be complete. So I was like, if I could get these plants now and get them in the ground, next year I'm up and running and I don't have to ever worry about anything else again. And I can do it cheaply right now. And so I prayed about it, and God spoke. He was like, you got A1 credit, get a loan through your credit union. after I looked at and priced out everything, it's only going to be like a couple of $100 that I need to finish off what I need to do to get my permaculture stations and everything going this year, plus the cleanup, plus the setup. Everything will be complete by the end of this summer, and next year that stuff is going to come back and it's going to produce for me, and I'm not going to be spending any money basically, because I start my plants from seed. As far as the non-permaculture stuff, I don't pay anything. I start my stuff from seed, and I get most of my seeds free through my garden club. And if I order some seeds, usually my seeds cost no more than maybe $1 or $2 a pack. So this little $200 investment that I'm about to do by getting my bushes, my fruit established and whatnot, and some of the, I am going to order some of the perennial plants or even the seeds. I think I'm gonna go with the plants because they do have them. You know, they have the walking onion and they have, you know, the Jerusalem artichokes. They've got all that stuff that I need, and it doesn't cost much. Even the berry bushes right now on clearance, I'm going to be spending really no more than about $9 or $10 per bush. So after I get the dwarf tree, that's going to be the most expensive item, and that is only like maybe $40 or $50. So once I get that one, I'm gonna get the fruit dwarf tree, which I think I'm going with apple, and I think I'm going to get either a persimmon or a pecan to put on the other side where I'm going to have the fruit stuff, you know, over there where the other trees are being cut down, and they will be dwarf trees, which means they're not going to get but a certain height, and they will produce forevermore. So that is the plan right now. And oh, and here's the good news. So I contacted my credit union after God said go on and put in for that loan, and go on and just do it, and you have A1 credit, it should go through. I applied for the loan this morning. Within 3 hours, I received a call back from the loan officer. He's like, now how much you want? He was like, because if you want to change the amount, you're approved. He was like, the money will be in your account on tomorrow. And so I did go up. I went up a couple of hundred. I was like, because anything could happen. Plus, I want to have a cushion for myself just for don't go money. So I went up a couple of hundred, and my monthly payment, I just paid off a bill that I was paying $50 a month for, and I just paid it off last month. So what's going to happen is for the next 6 months, my loan amount will be $50, that same amount that I was paying, that I won't even miss because I've been paying it for the past 3 years. So now that that's paid off, I took this for the loan. The next 6 months, by Christmas time, the loan will be paid off, and now I can finish up the permaculture principles of the Que-stead. Slap me 5, y'all. So it's about to be on and popping out. Oh, it's gonna be some work, don't get me wrong, it's gonna be some work, y'all, but I am so happy. I am so excited. I didn't think that I would be able to accomplish this. And then the blueprint was already here from the former owners, the late owners. So I'm just very, very pleased, and it's going to be work from here on in, but it will feed me for the rest of my life. It's going to add value to my home. My home already increased in value after I moved in because they did the assessments through here. They went up high on our taxes, and my house payment went up $200 a month. I was very upset, and I was worried, and it still could go up, but the property value also went up sky high. What I paid for this house is worth thousands more than what it was worth when I bought it 2 years ago. Okay, so that's number one. And then the second thing is this permaculture garden is going to add value to my home if I were to ever sell it. The right type of buyer, someone who's into the homesteading and permaculture, they will see it as a gold mine, and they will pay the extra amount for that because it will feed them. And not to mention, it doesn't even matter. I'm not selling this home. I mean, but the thing is, but when I pass away, whoever gets this home next, I think just like God gave this home to me because he knew that I was going to take it to the next level, he's going to do that for the next person who has this home, and they will come in eating for free. Okay? So it's win-win. all the way around. So I just wanted to announce that, explain that, and let you know what's happening on the Que-stead, and the work will be starting real soon. I'm going to, out of that loan money, y'all, I'm taking my butt to Best Buy, and I'm getting a tripod for the phone so I can at least set that up and film myself as I work so that you all can see everything coming to fruition in real time and see how it's working. So anyway, I thank you all for watching, and may God bless you all, and I will see you on the next episode of the Que-stead-Que Show. Bye bye.